This is the video review of the Super Sentai Shinken-oh figure, or more specifically, the US Power Rangers 25th edition Toys R Us exclusive version of this, which is, as far as I can tell, exactly the same as the original Japanese release. There may be some quality control differences, or some paint application differences, or some child safety regulations differences, but I have not noticed them. Now, a while back, I released the American version of the, I think it was a Samurai Megazord. That name doesn't sound right, because I believe there was a Samurai Megazord before it, but basically, I reviewed this same basic idea before, and I did not like it at all, because none of the individual Zord units had these emblem modes. And what I really like about the set is each Zord, I know it's Super Sentai, but bear with me. Each Zord has an emblem mode and an animal mode, and then the combined mode. And I like how each one of these is mechanically complex. Whereas with a lot of these Super Sentai and Power Rangers figures, the complexity comes with how everything goes together, not necessarily with an individual unit, and that makes the set really interesting and nice to me. Now, I get why Bandai of America made the change, though, because this set here really is the outlier of its line, because the Shinkenger line, these are the only ones that have any of the emblem modes. All the accessory mecha are just themselves, are just animals, and then the combined mode. So they're kind of the outliers of their own set, so it's kind of weird. I do like the set, though, but the first problem I have with it is there's no place to put the shield or the sword when these guys aren't together. Now, to get on to the review, let's start with the monkey one. I like the way the emblems look, but they can be kind of messy, especially this one. So it's got a nice emblem mode. Basically, it has a bit of junk on the side because it has to transform. And then the way it transforms is you bring it out like that, bring the arms down, and bring them forward. And here you have, it's a bit of an ugly looking monkey, but it's not too bad. Set it off to the side. And then we have the turtle. Looks okay, it's pretty clean. Fold out these, fold this out, and turtle. It's probably my least favorite just because it's not very interesting. Next, we'll look at the bear. I really like this one because it, the way the body moves is just sort of neat. It's the most stable of all of these. You fold this out, pull these out, slide this up, tab this in, bring these down, and bring out the head, and you've got a bear. And I really like that transformation. It's solid, it's a nice brick. Next we'll look at the dragon. This one probably has the, well, aside from this one, it really has the cleanest of the emblem modes. Then to transform this guy, you'll bring this out, bring out the dragon head, pop this out to the side. It's a bit disorienting looking at this guy through the camera because it's hard to tell which way is up and down. And then you've got this long, very poseable dragon. And I really like the way this looks. It's a bit hollow, but it goes with the origami theme very well. It's got lots of posability in it, too, all over the place. And then, finally, we have the lion. And this one probably has the weakest of all of the emblem modes. It looks fine from the front, basically, but you've got the connector ports on the side, you've got connector ports on the bottom, and unlike the other ones, it doesn't have the, it doesn't have this pattern on the back. So it is the most different of this group. But to transform it, you will pull these out, pull these out, pull these down, pull these down, pull the head out, and then fold this down here like this, and you've got a lion. And I like how this set looks all together. The origami theme really comes together with these guys because just one by itself wouldn't look good, like this guy by himself doesn't look good, but together you can really see the aesthetic that the designers were going for. Now start putting this guy together. We'll take the monkey, bring it around like this, and you've got one arm. I'll put this off to the side. Take the turtle, stretch it out like this, put the head in and the fins away, rotate this around, I've got another fist, take this guy, take the dragon head, put it in like this, and then take this, bring it around, tap it in like this, and just leave the crown there for now. Put it off to the side, take the bear, put it up like this. And one interesting thing about this guy is that there's a red button here in the combined mode position. This doesn't move unless you pull the button. So that's a nice way for this hinge to not cause instability. Then you'll fold this up, this up, this up, and this up, giving you another leg. Put that off to the side. And then finally you have this guy. And what you'll do is you will spread this out, put the legs back in, put this down, rotate the legs, the connector ports down like that, pull this up and this up, bring this down, and then pull the head out like this. And you've got the torso unit. Now we can start putting this together. Take the bear and the dragon, take the helmet off, and just clunk these down. Look up, pop the helmet on, then take the arms and put them onto the connector ports. Then finally you lift the crown. And this is the Shinken-oh all put together. And I really like the way this guy looks. Now normally I would not appreciate the way he goes together because it's a central unit and then the legs attach around it. Very Transformers Scramble City style, except you can't. Each one of these has to be where they are. I normally don't like Super Sentai figures like that because it's kind of a lazy way to go together. I like it when like one unit is the arms or one unit is the legs because it mixes things up. But I'm okay with it on this guy because each one of these individual figures is very complex. And overall it's just a very interesting set that goes together very well. Now for his accessories you have the sword here. Has some nice writing on the side. And unfortunately, it really only works in one hand, which is this hand, because in this hand you get this posability like this, and this really does add a lot to the figure. But you see it's hollow on this side, and it's weird for the hollowness to be facing outwards, in other words, the direction that you might be looking, because if it were like this, if you looked at it from the side, it'd look fine. But like this, it just... And the original Japanese release was like that too. Now on this side you can do the same thing, and in fact the sword will go through more, but you don't get this posability here. So either you have it go through all the way like this, which looks great, as opposed to only going in part way because you can't have it, you can't put a hole on the other side of the emblem. It either goes in part way and you get this on the outside, or you don't get any wrist movement. So the sword is kind of a bust. It could have worked better if, say, the handle were shorter, and if it had the writing on the other side. Now what is neat is that you can store it on his side like this. There's several notches in there set so that you can just slide it in like that, which is pretty neat. Now the shield here, you can do several things with this. One, you can put it into his hand, but that's problematic because the thumb gets in the way of his holding it. He will hold it, but... Okay, I guess it's not as much of a problem as it was. The first time I tried putting the shield in his hand, it didn't work. Oh, this is what it is. The shield doesn't go into this hand very well because this bit right here is a little bit rubbery and it doesn't grip the handle, so you can't put it into this hand. And that's the other problem with the sword, is that if you want the sword to have the writing on the outside and go all the way in, then you can't hold the shield very well because of that bit right there. Now, what is nice about the shield is that you can do several things with it. One, if you fold this up, you can plug it onto the side like this. Now, from what I've heard, this has never appeared in the show, but it is an interesting idea. I'm not quite sure how much I like it because it sort of throws the design off balance because it puts his shield way off to the side on one side and the sword on this side, so it weighs down one side aesthetically. But the other thing you can do, and I do like this, is you can plug it onto his back like this, and I think that looks good, because part of the reason why is because it fills in the hollowness of the back of the figure, and it just adds to the samurai aesthetic. Now, one problem a lot of people have with this figure is he doesn't look like he has much thigh, because you have this part down here, but then it just looks like his legs stop. Now, if you look closely, you can see that it's painted here so that this right here is supposed to be his thigh continuing up. It still is not very much thigh, but it's better than not having any thigh. And then because he has this battle skirt armor around it, it does help it to look a little bit. I don't mind this so much, but I know that it is something that some people dislike. And it actually is one of the few real improvements that the US release made over this one, because the US release had very nice thighs. And overall, this is the Super Sentai Shinken-oh. I really like it. It's shelf forming at Toys R Us right now. So if you can probably find it at Toys R Us, or you'll be able to get it on sale at Toys R Us eventually when they get tired of having it in stock. But yeah, I really do recommend this set. It's easy to get right now. You don't have to import it from overseas. Do get it. It's a nice set. I really like it. The only thing to watch out for is that on mine, the head right here, the two halves here, were loose, so that in the emblem mode, the parts here would flop around quite a bit, which was really annoying. I used some future floors to fix that. Otherwise, I had no problems with this set. I really do like it. I do recommend it. So I reviewed Transformers, Power Rangers, some Cross figures, lots of stuff like that. If any of that sounds interesting, please subscribe. Thank you for watching.